here again, live with the Icon Podcast. I'm finally back after 3 weeks on the road in my home environment. Funny story, you'll actually see that half my wall fell down, so a little bit of a different background here today. But I am super excited to have Tiffany with us today. Welcome to the show, Tiffany.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just going to tell you, I've heard a lot about you from some of my colleagues at EXP. I've traveled a lot, and so when I was looking for someone in your area, you were the name that came up as the icon agent in your area. So I personally don't know a lot about you outside of what I was able to find online or heard from my friends. So I would love for you just to give our audience a little bit of introduction about yourself, how long you've been in real estate and kind of, what has your real estate journey been up till this day?
Yeah, man. Well, I have actually been in the business about going on 6 years, actually heading into 7. Time flies. Yeah, I've always kind of invested, and so I kind of took the jump to start doing real estate full time, and I've just been at it, created a couple of teams along the way, and I've just been loving it, dude. So it's definitely something that is my occupation forever.
I love that. I love that. So how long have you been at EXP? Has EXP been your home forever, or what's kind of your story there?
Well, actually, I joined a traditional brokerage, a big name across the board, was with them about 4 years, made the leave to go over the EXP, had to go back for a little bit, and now I am back with EXP. So collectively, I've been with EXP kind of about in a 3-year time span. So pretty serious as far as back and forth, but consistent for about a year and 2 months now. So, and I love it. So
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about that, and you can kind of dive into what you want to and don't want to in this arena. But whether it was your first or second time going back and forth from EXP, like what, and during those times when you looked at the company, especially on your first time that you were thinking about coming over, like what stuck out to you, and what was kind of one of the main reasons why you moved away from a big box traditional brokerage and went over?
Well, honestly, I came over because, it's just, it's the new age, right? It is the future of real estate. And so I came over excited, pumped. I did not want to leave. Let me make that clear. There was some struggle back and forth with my old brokerage. And so I didn't want to leave, but I had to go back for a short amount of time. And then soon as my time was up, jump back to EXP.
I love that. I love that. So, so you obviously moved over for some reasons that might not have been like, oh, this is why I'm moving over. I'm going to chase this piece of EXP. So you kind of had a different journey than a lot of people. So I guess my next question is once you got there, the first time and really now the second time, were there any pieces of EXP that weren't really explained to you well, or you didn't really know much about that now that you've been here, you're like, wow, this is like life-changing. This is a big part of my business. Or, what are some of your favorite parts about EXP now that you've kind of been here consistently for a little while now?
Yeah. So, I had a really, I think we were number 8 in the triangle, traditional brokerage team, and with a couple of other partners, but there was always something more that I wanted, right? And I just felt like I wanted to be able to offer everybody what I could get, right? So kind of the same thing. And then you've got the traditional brokerage that, what always happens, right? You get really big, you bring on these people, you train them, they get big, and then what do? They leave you, right? And a lot of people hate that, but EXP actually massages that model. You want that to happen because you're tied to them for life.
Yeah.
And they're able to kind of do the same thing you're able to do as far as, revenue and things like that. So I can help you, right? And then when you come on, you get the same benefit that I get. You're not trying to bring people onto my team to benefit me. You're bringing people on underneath you to benefit you. So, that was really big for me. And then whenever I was searching for a while, I'm a broker in charge. I had my own firm that I could have went out on, and I was going to initially do that. And then the model was explained to me, and I thought, man, why, or why make the wheel? Why create the wheel again when it's here? So this is where I'm going to. So, coming into the business or coming into EXP and really diving in there a lot, it's just so many wonderful things that they've got. It's mind blowing. So
I love that. I love that. So how are you set up today? Are you an individual agent? Are you running a team? Or like, what does that look like now in the EXP environment today?
yeah, so today I personally kind of have about 5 people on my team, but they're really kind of a support for me. I do bring on people. I am a mentor coach with EXP as well. So when people come on, they've got 2 options. They can join my team if they want to, but I tell them, hey, no need. Stay by yourself. Let's make your brand big. And so that's typically what I do. I do give them 2 options, but then I kind of take on about 5 mentees about the same time. I put them under my wing. I show them what I do, try to make them creative and pull out things that make them who they are in real estate, and then send them on their way. So I still have that team, but it's more of an inline, if I should say. So, we're still feeding leads and things like that, but it's more of a family altogether. And then that way they have the people underneath them somewhere to go to as well.
Yeah, so, I love that. And that's all because of the system and the model of EXP. That really you wouldn't be incentivized to do it that way if you were really at probably 90+% of the other models.
Right, absolutely.
No, that makes total sense. So talk to me a little bit about the icon. That's what the podcast is about. So I want to dive into that because I'll tell you, and I say this over and over again, when I joined EXP, I knew nothing about the icon. It was kind of like a shock, like, what? That's actually a thing? And so I would love for you to kind of talk to me. Who told you about the icon? Did you know about the icon coming over? And then just tell me a little bit of your icon story. When did you first hit icon? And, what did the company give you for being an icon agent?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I was told that the guy above me, Pat Hayes, he actually told me a little bit about what EXP is, right? So it's the 80-20 split. Once you've paid in that $16,000, then you can get it all back, right? You become an icon. There's steps to go to. So I was pretty pumped about that. And truthfully, my first official year, which is now, I was definitely diving in and trying to maximize the real estate side of it, not necessarily recruiting, but just really kind of learning the ins and outs of what it offers. So I jumped in and, I paid in that $16,000. And initially, right off the bat, I got back part of that money, right? And then we have 2 events that come up, such as the summit, and then a shareholder EXP event, you get back a little bit more of that money. I think if you attend those events, you get an extra $2,000 here, $2,000 there. And it's just been pretty amazing, right? Because we get back that $16,000 in stock, which, truthfully, I ran my numbers and I was operating. If you look at what I'm doing for a year, I'm operating at like 110%. Like where can you go to make 110% on a commission split? So
that is awesome. So basically what I heard you say is if you hit a cap, which a lot of people listening here, they might get a company that has a cap. You hit the cap, plus you sell some homes above and beyond that to hit the transaction counts and some things like that. And then they gave you the $16,000 with a few stipulations to be able to get it all back. And those stipulations boosted culture. They wanted you to attend events or mentor or do some things like that. And they gave it to you in stock. So like, when did they give you your stock? When did you icon? Like, do you know roughly what your stock value was per share when they gave that to you?
I do not. Because it was in the process of everything booming. Okay. And I just know that I look back and I was like, holy, like my stock, oh my God, So I don't want to be, I think it's around 20 some dollars. I'm not exactly sure because we hit, it was actually the month of July.
Okay.
because I came on in June and then we hit pretty quickly. So
I love that. So even if it's $25, $20, whatever it is in that range, I think as of the recording starting, we're like at $43 a
oh,
share.
oh
So
yeah.
and so you've almost doubled the money. So I think they gave you probably $12,000 in stock. You basically doubled that in just a few months by doing absolutely nothing.
Yep, absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
that is insane. That's insane. So tell me a little bit about your market. You kind of hit on it earlier, but like where are you located at? Where is your business focused? And I kind of want to talk a little bit about, there's going to be some people that are listening here that are like, wow, I associate with Tiffany's energy. I love it. Like, and they're going to be like, how can I do business with her, whether it's referrals, or they might even want to align and name you as a sponsor at EXP because they just like what you got going. So you can tell me kind of your area you serve, and then do you have boundaries to where people can partner with you? My guess is no, but I'd love to kind of hear, what can people get with you when they align with you? And I sure hope you say your energy, because that's what I would want.
Yeah, man, for sure. So I have no boundaries. Part of my RV adventure that I think I told you about my family went on, I actually had some meetings with a couple of agents. So, we hit up 13 states heading out west all the way to Oklahoma. We kind of dipped down, and then on the way back, we kind of hit the top part. So there's no boundaries, right? I will tell you that. Definitely. Our focus is changing up for next year too, kind of out of the country. So we are out there. I will tell you, we've got some things in the making, just so we can be available to those people. As far as my practice, now I am primarily in the Triangle area, which is Raleigh, Durham, Cary area. But as far as aligning with agents, we're global. So we're stoked. We're stoked.
I love that. I love that. And so you have, tell me a little bit about your family. So I know you got 4 fur babies, your wife and kid. And so tell me a little bit about your family, and tell me a little bit about too, like as an icon agent, you work a lot. I know you do a lot of deals, a lot of production. So like, how do you like balance that between a great family, balancing that? So I'd love to hear a little bit about your family and kind of like how you balance that as such a high producer.
Yeah. So I have the most beautiful wife in the world, right? I have the best daughter. And we initially had 3 babies, but we somehow just got 4 fur babies now. So, but anyways, truthfully, my secret is I have to get up early. Right? I have to get up early. I mean, I have a 5-year-old that's going to run in there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's all about her, right? So usually I try to get up about 4:30, and I know that sounds crazy to most, but I'm able to kind of get in and focus and kind of reach out and do what I need to do for the day.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I'm present. And, with real estate, it's always hard because, there's no 9 to 5. It's no set time. So what I try to do is when I have those moments, I maximize them, right? So I'm available, but if I'm in that moment, I'm in that moment, right? And I am maximizing my family time, my quality time. And then I'll have a little section or a little block in the calendar where I'm like, okay, let me catch back up and see where I'm at, to kind of stay on top of that too. So
I love that. I love that.
yeah, and my wife is actually in the game too. So she
Really?
she works corporately for EXP. So she knows all about it.
Okay, so she's like the eyes in the sky. She knows everything about the company, keeps you in line.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. So talk to me a little bit about, because some people listening to this right now, they might be listening going, I'm a big producer. I'm wherever they're at. Why should I make a move to EXP? Or a lot of them, like might have been like me. Like I used to have a pretty big ego around the real estate side, and I had to let that go to be able to take a look at the model. So what advice do you give to someone that's like maybe scared to look at it, or like they feel like they shouldn't, or like they're cheating on their other brokerage, or like talk to me about that. Like what would you give advice wise if you sat down with someone that had some concern about looking at a model?
Well, first and foremost, I am always open, and I tell people that you should truly be open in everything you do. I mean, it's not going to hurt to hear something, right? The world changes. That is one thing that will be constant, right? So it will always change. So you are doing yourself a disservice if, first of all, you don't listen, right? Just to hear it. But truthfully, when I explain the model, then I always ask people, if you've got a brokerage that, if you can show me something that's better, I'll sign up today, right? Because truthfully, we all want to eventually have some type of retirement. We want to, what EXP could offer as far as like revenue share and things like that, the stock options, you can't get that. Currently you can't get that at all these traditional brokerages. And it is a way to eventually step off of the hamster wheel of real estate, right? So, and it's a wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. I think I'll probably sell houses until the day I die or until I can't move. But, you want to have something else to fall back on always, and that is where the company did it for me,
No, I love that. I love that. So now that you've been at the company for a year and you're ready to launch, you just keep on staying steady and growing, like, is there anything that when you got to the company that kind of like shocked you in terms of like, that even like today, like what are you most excited about with EXP that you maybe weren't excited about 6 months ago?
Well, I'll tell you this, and I don't know if this can be public, but something that really stood out to me about the company was, a lot of people like, oh, you need to have the culture. But soon after I joined the company, we had like massive, it was hurricane season here in North Carolina, right? Like literally it was hurricane season. And the amount of people that reached out to me that was within the organization across all the way in Texas. I mean, everywhere, all the different states. Hey, are you doing well? We want to check on you guys. I was just mind blown, right? I was mind blown. And to see the backhand side of it, of how EXP has its own organization that really helps out to their clients. It's always great to be kind of open about it and, showing everybody like, hey, I give back, or we do this as a company. That's great. And that's always good to inspire the next person to give. But when you give in secret, and you're really given to give and you're taking care of your people during times of crisis, I mean, it was just mind blowing for me. And, what I saw that EXP had, and especially lately with everything that's been going on, the changes and, the things that they've been taking place and getting on top of and showing that what we're really about, it's out of this world. I haven't seen that at any other brokerage. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
I love that. It's like you said, it's not that other people don't give, it's the way that they did it kind of in secrecy or like didn't publicize everything. So you knew it was kind of genuine of like, wow, they didn't even brag about this or, use it for their own looks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were really there for their people. Some of these accounts and the money that was raised was just tremendous to help out some of these agents that were, had lost their home and stuff. So, I mean, it was just big for me.
No, I love that. I love that. So I'm going to ask you a question that I didn't put on the sheet that I kind of want to ask because we haven't asked it before. But as someone that is in the mentor side ship of EXP, whenever I came over to EXP, I had enough experience where I was able to skip it. I was on a team, etc. So I would like to hear from you, like, why would you say EXP is such a great model for even new agents? Because we hear a lot like, oh, like, especially my background is KW. So like, KW is great for new agents or Remax or wherever because you can go in person and talk to your mentor. Like, so as someone that's mentoring a lot of people now and in your past, like, what advantages do you think that EXP offers the modern day agent, especially during COVID right now, where a lot of these, people are having to also, be a teacher or, do things they've never done before. So I'd love to hear your take on how is EXP set up to where when you come on board, your mentor can help you in ways that the broker really can't.
Well, truthfully, I think the EXP, we're way above it. I mean, not above it. We're ahead of it, right? So we already had Zoom. We already had all these things in place where a lot of these companies are just now starting to utilize it because of COVID. You know, we have Rebella where we're meeting in the virtual offices and we're already kind of connected. And that was the thing that a lot of people say is, well, you know, I want to go to a firm where I can connect with someone. But the thing about it is we're so hyper connected. You can connect to any agent anywhere at any time through, you know, our social media platforms that we utilize. So, you know, right now, something that we do is we also have like, I don't know, what is it, 50 or 60 hours a week in training that's available.
Can't keep up.
I know. And the good thing that I think, especially some of these newer agents that are coming on, is EXP not only teaches in that training things to help you succeed in real estate, but if you look on there, it's training such as how to create a YouTube channel, how to do this. Like, these things are important in today's real estate because that is where everything is going to. It's online, you know? So I've never seen a traditional brokerage offer how to start how to start a YouTube channel or how to have a social media presence in Instagram and Facebook. So, you know, the things that we offer is definitely a step above. You know, like, we're already ahead of kind of where everything is. And I think we've had the advantage that way. And the same thing, I can connect, just like I'm connecting with you through Zoom, to all my new mentees. And, you know, we've got presentations online. So, and on top of all that training. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good with that. And definitely it's a way that it gives you a reason, right? So if you were initially sick, okay, say you're sick, or you just got a cold, right? And you know, your traditional brokerage, everybody's coming into the office. We've got to do CE. We've got to do this. Well, now you can just Skype. You don't have childcare, no problem. We can still Skype or we can still Zoom. You know, like, we're kind of already there, so you can keep learning even if you've got to be in your PJs. So
I love that, because I think back to just my days, and like, if the brokerage I was at, if you wanted to catch something in the office, like while you were at home, it was like, I hope that Sally or Joe in the back does a Facebook Live that I can't hear or listen to. Like, fingers crossed, I get that replay. So
yeah.
Where like you said, because the XP stuff the way they are, they can literally have dogs and cats and kids crawling across their arms and still get a way better experience just because of the way it's being presented to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And too, we always have everything back on videos if you couldn't catch that, right? So we've got a huge library with, you know, about anything you can pull from. So.
I love that. I love that. Well, as we wrap up here, I want to remind everybody, we're going to have Tiffany's information all over down below. So whether you're sending referrals or you're looking to join someone EXP and Tiffany aligns with, you know, some of your beliefs in terms of, I love the energy and what they're offering to EXP, like, please hit up Tiffany for that. We always want people, as you guys know on this podcast, to align with people at EXP, not just someone because they told you to. Align with people that are going to make you tick and make you want to grow your business. So Tiffany, I really just want to say I really appreciate you coming on here today. And, you know, as an icon agent that basically, like you said, gets paid to be EXP, I really appreciate you taking the time to share with both the people that you know and the people that you don't know about why it's such a great opportunity to basically get paid to be at EXP for many cases.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, as always, guys, signing off from the Icon Podcast. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Hey, don't ever forget, consider EXP.